Hello everyone, this is Tom Nook. It's 8:43 a.m. this happy Saturday, June 8th, 2024. Now for today's news. Ta-da! Today, Moreau has its very own museum. Oh yes, it's a grand museum indeed, with separate exhibit rooms for fish, bugs, fossils, and even works of art. Blathers, the museum curator, says he's always available to accept donations or assess fossils, and museum admission is free, so stop by whenever you like. By the way, whenever we cover big island developments like this, we'll hold a special commemorative ceremony afterward. We'd like as many folks as possible to take part, so stop by Resident Services if you're interested. That's all from me. I do hope you all enjoy another fine day of luxurious Moreau living. Almost said Monroe there. What is up, my Squirtleites? It is I, your king, welcoming you back to more Let's Play Animal Crossing New Horizons. In the last episode, oh my goodness, we took care of a whole host of stuff. It ended up being a lot busier of a day than I was expecting it to be. On top of getting ourselves a house, which we're going to see here in just a second, as well as helping out a shipwrecked sailor, or I guess castaway sailor, I don't know. But look, we have a house! We have a house now! Oh my gosh, well, we got to explore inside before we do anything. Now, it's not necessarily a big house, but it's at least something. It's something a little bit cozy that we can call home. And you notice it is a little bit more space than what we had. So there's a couple things that are now available to us with a house. So first things first, we can also, like it says, you can immediately turn on the lights if we want to. There are actually two light settings. I believe it's just like a standard light, then more like a softer blue light if that's what you prefer. It's like the LED look as opposed to halogenic lights and then turning the lights off entirely. This is separate from what you're going to be doing with your lamp. Now, we can move things around here in construction mode a lot more freely without having to push it all by hand. You can see here I can just kind of move everything into place exactly where it goes. I can also rotate things if I want to, like this. Just by tapping on each and every single one of those. I would like to move the box, but it doesn't look like it's going to let me, so I'll have to take the radio off and then do that. We can also access our pockets from here if we want to place things down. For instance, I can put down my fan here, and we can kind of stick that right up there for the time being and just sort of drop a couple things into place. We can also check it out from different angles, especially if you want to hang certain things on the wall, and this is capable of many different things. In fact, I believe this right here is a great example of something that I can use, so I'm actually going to store that really quickly. Then if I go back into my pockets, what I can do is select, where did it go here? Where did it go? Or did I accidentally put that in my... I might have accidentally put that in my storage. Hold on a second. Well, I might as well show the storage really quickly. Let's actually open that up. Yeah, I did. Okay, so let's move that to pockets really quickly. But here's our storage, and we can see really quickly we have 80 slots in here. You can also sort through housewares, miscellaneous, which these are usually like smaller items, wallpaper, floors, fashion items, creatures, as well as other. So 80 storage slots, which are going to come in big time handy for the future, especially now that we have a pockets upgrade, which we got in the last episode. And in fact, this is a perfect place for me to go ahead and store things like wood and tree branches and weeds and stone and things like that, because these take up a lot of space and you're going to need them. But I do want to actually get as much of those as possible for the many DIY projects that I have in mind. I'll also put my summer shells in there as well, since I didn't really have a whole lot of places to put those anywhere. So that actually frees up a ton of space. I'm also going to put my watering can in there just because I haven't really been using it at the moment. So something worth also mentioning. Okay, so real quick, let's also go back into this mode, and what we can do is I can actually switch to this wall. Let's go into our pockets, and then I can actually hang... if I have it. I thought I put it down. Oh, yes. Okay, yes. I can actually put this here, so I can stick this right above my bed. Again, don't even know who these people are, but I'd rather have it up here on the wall than down on the floor somewhere. But we can always switch back if we so desire, but now it is out of our way, and we have a little bit extra floor space because of it. That is pretty much the gist of decorating. Obviously, we need to get a bigger house before things get too crazy, but hey, that's pretty awesome. It's nice to have that upgrade. We even get our little bit of miles. Dream house, a home that you build yourself, gives you greater livability. It's on a whole other level. I'll give Nook miles to those who build or expand their homes to taste a good life. And there we go. All right, every expansion gives you a bit more Nook miles, and there's a whole lot left to go. Also, active island resident. Life on the island has lots of promise. To illustrate this, I'll reward you some Nook miles based on the number of active days you spent here. Please take them and enjoy them. That's 3 days in a row that we've played this. Well, at least I believe the last day was. I don't think the first day counted necessarily, so I guess that makes sense. So it's 3 days after the fact, but this is, of course, day 4. Now, let's head on outside with all of that put there. And also, I love my little freaking hedges on the side of the house. It's just adorable and homely. I'm going to open my mail. We actually got a bunch of stuff today. So first things first, we got a bunch of stuff I got from Nook Shopping. This was mainly just to buy things so that I actually had... I could finish one of my Nook Miles Plus achievements yesterday. We also got something from Gulliver after we rescued him in the last episode. I wanted to thank you for saving me my life, but I never got your number. I hope regular mail is okay. Did you know people still do these? Wild. Anyway, please enjoy this weird souvenir from me. Thanks again from Gulliver the Castaway. So let's place that in our pocket. We also got this from Happy Home Academy. Congrats on your new home. Greetings from the Happy Home Academy. Our goal? We want to help you make your home the best that it can be. Look for more messages from us as you hone your home decorating skills. A housewarming gift is attached. So let's place that in our pocket, and let's actually see what we got out of some of these things, because that's a whole lot of stuff. So we got some food here, which, I mean, these are things that I can lay out if I have a table. That's kind of nice. Got myself a drying rack as well as a garden faucet. These are things I'm actually going to place outdoors. For my present, I got, a South Pole, all right, and then another one is a wooden low table. Why don't we learn that? And that actually could come in handy with a couple of those things. Let's see what our DIY recipe is for that one. Not the Critterpedia. That's not where I meant to go. Here we go. All right. So, there we go. Yeah. So it's a very big central table. I think it's an oval, actually, not a circle. It's just the angle on that is weird. But we need 10 scraps of wood, which I actually don't think I have enough. So I'm going to have to go out and farm more wood anyway. Which, speaking of materials, a lot of the material collecting I'm going to be doing off screen. Like, I'll obviously do some here and there, especially as we get things that are necessary for... Well, you'll see. For like actual tasks for expanding the island and whatnot, I'll certainly show as much of that on screen as I can. For a second, I thought that was a different kind of butterfly, but it's not. But I'll be showing those things on screen as much as I can, but chopping wood and just gathering very menial things, not really going to show that too much more here in this series. I'll try to do, again, a lot of that stuff off screen. So let's take a look at some of these things. So garden faucet, I'm actually going to place that right here next to my house. It is brick style, which, I mean, it doesn't really fit the aesthetic too much, but it's at least something. And then the drying rack we can actually put out here, I think, over by the river, just as long as it's kind of out of the way. Because this is obviously a place to hang clothes. So I say right there is probably a not too bad of a spot. Now, as for the South Pole, let's actually take a look at this item really quickly. Oh, it's just straight up the stereotypical, like, South Pole. Okay, with the design and everything. Well, I'll just keep that in my pockets for the time being, because I'm not really going to be using that all too much. And let's get a move on. But hold on, it looks like our villagers also have houses as well. Must be Agnes's house, and it looks like Rory's probably going to have one too. So we'll go to the museum in a moment, don't you worry. But we're going to go take a look at Rory's house and see what the heck is going on. Is Agnes out here somewhere? I don't see her. It looks like Rory's at home. Why don't we take a look inside his house really quickly, since he is actually available. And we can see how this works. So every single villager has a predetermined design style that is unique to them. But it's not just that. They also tend to have default styles that will use a lot of DIY-specific stuff. So Rory's is actually a perfect example of that. This is not the kind of house he will normally have. He will usually actually have a very I believe it's a garden-themed house of sorts. But given that he kind of started with all of this basic equipment, much of the same stuff that we had, he's just going to be carrying that over from what he had in his tent, unfortunately. But let's talk to him. Hey, yo, welcome to my top-secret hideout, Capital. What's the latest? Guess what? I finally own something that even I have trouble lifting. Yep, I have a house now, Capital. It's got walls, a floor, even a ceiling. I can finally do jumping jacks without ripping a hole in my home. Well, I'm so glad that you have it, Rory, and I'm very happy for you, because this is obviously a huge step for you, buddy. It's a huge step for everybody. I mean, we all feel a whole lot better now that we actually have houses to live in, central heating and AC and all that stuff. It makes a big difference. Of course it does. Okay, so obviously there's fossils I can dig up, there's trees I can shake, there's so many different things that I can do. In fact, I can also look for more gold spots to plant more trees and the like, but I'm not really going to worry about any of that today, given that we've already pretty much done that in the last episode. Instead, I'm going to head on into resident services first. I'm going to see about this museum ceremony and see what else Tom Nook has for us, as well as also kind of checking the shop, because I'd like to see some of those things. What are you two talking about? So you see, since the number of homeowners is increasing, I agree that we need to build a shop. However, when it comes to building supplies, our customers' homes should take priority. I have every confidence that you'll find a way to handle this little puzzle. The two of you have been training under me for how many years now? This should be a piece of cake. Oh! Well, hello there, Levi. Are you happy with your home? Is it meeting your expectations? I bet it'll be a lot more comfortable now. Houses are so different from tents. You can freely change up the flooring and the wallpaper, and you've got some built-in storage, so you can put away any furniture you aren't using. Oh, yes, there's more. All homeowners are automatically registered with the Happy Home Academy, the HHA as we call it. We'll evaluate your home on a regular basis and send you helpful advice. They even send rewards to members whose home achieves high ratings. Their evaluations won't intrude on your day-to-day life, so there's no need to worry, just enjoy the fun. Which brings us to your new home loan. That'll be 98,000 bells, please. Can I pay in miles? Oh, I'm sorry, that was a special offer that only applied to your initial getaway package fees. You'll have to make loan payments with bells now. But don't worry, you can pay in installments, big or small. Payments can be made using the AVD feature of the Nook Stop. I think that's everything I need to tell you about homes today, but I do have a nice surprise for you. I do hope you're ready for this. It's a premium miles redemption item, a Nook Miles ticket. What's that? Nook Miles ticket is a special travel voucher you can only get by redeeming Nook Miles. It's a conundrum, huh? We want to improve our island, but still hold on to that deserted island magic. Well, now you can do both. You can use one of these tickets to do some island hopping adventuring. Yes, go anytime you want. Maybe you're looking to meet some new characters or gather materials for DIY projects. Your trip is yours to enjoy in the way you like. You left your ticket at the counter in the airport, so use it whenever the travel mood strikes. Now then, go enjoy your life in your freshly built home indeed. I mean, I'd love to, but it seems like there's a whole lot more stuff going on. What's up, Timmy? Congratulations on your new home. I have something I would like to chat about if you have a moment, that is. It's a bit of a proposal, so if now's not a good time, I understand completely, no pressure. Sure, let's talk about it. Very good, I'll get right to the point. I'm hoping that you might be interested in collaborating on a new adventure. Building a new shop. After all, our little island community is growing, and our needs are growing too. I'd love to offer a much wider inventory of goods, but as you can see, I'm a bit limited in here. I've already spoken with our fearless leader, of course, and he agrees that we have a need. But here's the thing. Building materials are hard to get, so can we set them aside for building a shop? I really don't see it, since we'll need those materials for residential projects, but I have an idea. Yes, you could gather up materials from around the island, right? From the trees and rocks. Our environmental review even suggests that there will be zero impact to native flora or fauna. Well, isn't that just convenient? But I'm getting off track. We'll need a lot of materials for a proper shop, and we will, of course, offer compensation for your efforts. Okay, let's do it. Thank you so much. Now, I know this is a lot, but I put together a list of the items I'd like you to gather. We'll need 30 pieces each of regular wood, hardwood, and softwood, and 30 iron nuggets. I'm not concerned about where these materials come from. They could come from this island or any other. And you can gather these materials at your own pace. Once you have a set of something, come see me. Okay, so we actually have some things we got to go after, and that is going to take time to do, and we will be doing that in due time. But first things first, I am going to stock up on a couple of things, so let me just kind of fill up my inventory here really quickly, and what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to... No, I didn't mean to do that. Sorry, my bad. I did not mean to... I forgot that that was actually at the top of the frickin' ask list now. So let me go into his actual shop, and I'm actually going to do a little bit of spending. So what's for sale real quick? So, okay, we got a cooler box and a beach ball. Not going to really worry about that. I'm actually going to buy myself a flimsy axe. Maybe two, actually. Might be a good idea. And then I'm also going to buy another extra shovel. So let's do that as well, because I do need to be hitting a lot of rocks, because remember how I said before that we need to get a lot of iron nuggets? Well, we have 16 at the moment, which is just a little over half of what is required, which means obviously that there is a whole lot of, extra stuff we got to go after. So... let's see really quickly. Well, first, let me check this. Is there anything in here? Hey, there's our rusted part I was talking about. I'll just leave that in there for the time being. Then we have the Nook Stop, so we can take a look at this really quickly. Get ourselves that additional bonus miles. And what do we got here? Okay, let's redeem Nook Miles and see what our options here right off the bat. Custom design, pretty good tools, recipes. Okay, that is definitely the next thing I want to go after. That's going to cost me 3,000 miles. I think everything else I'm just going to leave be. As for novelties, I don't think I'll really worry about that too much, but we can also take a look at the limited goods in our Nook Shopping Center. So take a look at that. We got a book, electric kick scooter. There's a mesh cap, which I do tend to like these a lot better than the current cap that I'm wearing. And KK Gumbo. So not really anything that I'm like super needing. I'd like that hat. I don't know if I want it in orange though, maybe in a different color. So I'll keep an eye out for that. It's also not that expensive anyway. So let's get on out of here. So we got work to do really quickly, and I'm gonna kind of put my axe to the test here and start catching things or gathering things as much as I can. I also do want to catch this butterfly because I have not yet gotten it. So let's do that really quickly. I know I have the yellow butterfly, but I never actually, or I have the common butterfly, but I never actually got the yellow butterfly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be making my way from tree to tree, shaking every single one and checking to see if any wasps will pop out. I'm also going to be gathering twigs, bells, all those sorts of things, and I'm going to grab every single one here before I get to chopping. And this is going to be something that I'm probably going to just time-lapse it. I'll either time-lapse it or I'll just kind of cut ahead and we'll see how much we can get out of these trees, but this is why I wanted to grab these extra axes. I don't want to spend too much time showing me doing all of this, but you'll get the gist. The reason for this, and the main reason I'm doing this now, is because I'm not even going to be able to actually get all the iron nuggets anyway unless I get extremely lucky. There is a workaround to this, but we'll talk about it once I'm all said and done. So just hang tight, and I will be with you all in a moment. Oh man, that took a long time to do, but as you can see now, I have 30 softwood, wood, and hardwood. I actually got excess regular wood and hardwood. I already put that away in storage. However, we are just short on iron nuggets, and yes, this includes the iron nuggets that I put away in storage at the beginning of the episode. So we need to somehow procure 5 more, but we don't have any rocks with which to do. Now, I could, in theory, take a chance, eat some fruit, and smash every single one of these rocks to procure exactly 1 more random item out of each of them, but I'm not going to even bother with that. Now, we're going to go with a little bit better of a solution, and there's still a chance that this won't work, but we're going to certainly give it a try. So remember that Nook Miles ticket that Tom Nook mentioned to us? We're going to use that right now. And well, you'll see what I'm talking about when we actually use it. So let's go and talk to Orville here. Hey, welcome to your one and only gateway to the skies at the Moreau Airport. Nice to meet you. I'm Orville, ground crew for Dodo Airlines. Dodo Airlines, the crew may be flightless, but that doesn't mean you have to be. If you want to visit another island, invite friends to this one, or go on a mystery tour, this is the place to be. We've also got a mail service at this airport. Sometimes the letter is just better, you know? If you want to send someone a note, take a gander to your right. We got all kinds of cards at the card stand. By the way, you're Levi, right? It's a small island, word gets around. I just got a Nook Miles ticket from Tongue Nook with Levi written on it, which makes it yours. So if you want to use this ticket, you just got to say the magic words, I want to fly. Got it? You got anything to tell me? I want to fly. Roger. By the way, I got a Nook Miles ticket. Yeah. Okay, so I think we should use it. Let's do it. Use your Nook Miles ticket. Roger, in that case, I'll just take this ticket I got from Tom Nook. I'm ready to get you in the sky right this minute, but let's just check. You all packed? Tools all ready? Time for takeoff. All right, let's get you airborne. And so we're going to be heading out, and we get to explain exactly how Nook Miles tickets behave. Dodo 1, this is Dodo Tower. Wilbur, I skipped it all. I wanted to read the whole darn thing. Oh, well. So, Dodo Airlines, and I just love the imagery and the iconography with Dodo Airlines. It's so freaking good. Look at that little guy flap. Oh, it's so cute. But we have a few goals in mind here. All right, we are due down and docked at the target island. Delta Oscar is go. First time getting your pontoons wet on tour? Let me brief you on a mystery island procedure. First, we run the finders keepers protocol here. Lumber, fruit, fish, whatever, yours if you can carry it. Next up, break a tool, forget one? I got to requisition you a replacement. Got to charge you miles, though. Also, there's one red line item you need to memorize like your favorite latte order. Anything you leave behind stays here. We don't come back to these places, ever. I actually burn the flight plans afterwards. Security reasons. Can't explain more than that. I think that's everything. Go explore. If you get into trouble, ask yourself, what would dodos do? Meanwhile, I'll be holding pattern here. Get in touch when you need tools or travel. Go catch bees and chop some trees. Okay, so welcome to our very first mystery tour island, everybody. And There's actually not a whole lot going on here. It's a pretty bog standard place. There doesn't seem to be much going on, but there's a few things to look out for with mystery tours. Now, the first of those is the fact that there are coconut trees here, and I am absolutely going to be shaking these down because I want to go for some coconut trees on my island. So we're going to want to make sure that we grab these. This is the very first way you're going to have access to this availability, so make sure you do that. We only got limited pocket space though here, so we need to be careful. Secondly, of course, there are in fact rocks here, and so I am going to try to get myself some iron nuggets out of it. Also, we will talk to that character in just a second, but let's start by hitting a couple of these and hoping that we can pop some iron nuggets out. There is 1, 2, three. Just need 2 more. Oh, there it is. Oh my gosh. On the first rock, we got all of the iron nuggets that I needed. So that will put us up to 30. I will just be taking the rest as excess. But perfect. That's exactly as many as I needed and the whole reason that I wanted to come here. Let's talk to you. Not like that. Marina. Well, hello there. My name's Marina. You're Levi? Wait, you came here all the way from Moreau? You're definitely more well-traveled than me. I'm trying to fix that by touring new places like this island. Mom always says there's magic and chance encounters, so I'm glad we ran into each other like this. Why don't we talk to you again? It must be true what they say about how travel broadens your horizons. This change of scenery has given me a new perspective on life back on my island. I like it well enough, but you could move to my island? Oh, wow, that's such a great idea. Thank you for encouraging me. When I ran into you, I never expected to be invited to live on your island, unless you were just teasing me. Do you really mean it? You know what, Marina? I think you'll love it there. Oh, this is all so exciting. I can't wait to start packing up for my big move after this tour. If I remember right, I'm supposed to contact someone named Tom Nook about relocating Blurp. I better do that before I forget. And there we go. And that is the other thing that you can get on Nook Miles Islands. Should you ever not be at the villager limit for whatever reason, which is 10, you have the option to run into villagers on every single Nook Miles Island that you get to. Now, what villager is here is completely random, but we actually got a pretty unique one there in Marina, as there are not a whole lot of octopus villagers running around. I want to say there's only like a total of 5 across the entire game, and Marina is probably the most beloved, or arguably the most beloved out of all of them. So I'm pretty happy with that one right there. We will definitely be adding her to the group, at least for the time being. I do want to talk a little bit more about villagers a little bit later on, but we'll get into that in due time. But that is a 3rd villager that's going to be moving in, and we just got to find her a plot of land if possible. But let's continue to get some stuff out of these stones. I'm getting tons of iron nuggets. My gosh, my luck with these is absolutely incredible. Almost no stones. It's all been iron nuggets and clay. Not that I am complaining, because those are the rarest. Now, you'll also notice that there are cliffs on these islands. We cannot access these because we do not have access to a ladder just yet, but that is okay. I'm only missing out a couple of trees and a rock up there. What I'm going to do now, with what space I have left, and I know I have more coconuts to grab, is I'm going to give these trees a couple of shakes, see if I can't get some wasps out of these, which that is an example right there, and there it is landing on top of me, so I can get the easy catch there. I also seem to have finished another Nook Miles Plus thing. I'll redeem all of those in a moment. We also have 1 guaranteed furniture item out of any of these trees, so worth grabbing there as well. And the last thing, if I'm not mistaken, there's usually a message bottle here, but, you know, I actually might be wrong about that one. Someone could probably correct me. But Nook Miles Islands have many different variances to them. There's a ton of different possibilities that you can come across when going to each one of these islands. They're obviously this is what a very common one looks like. It's not too dissimilar from what you would expect in pretty much any other location. You're just going to get a lot of the basics here: trees, rocks, weeds, and different types of flowers. Not really a whole lot of deviation from what you see on your own island. However, there are rare chances of running into certain Nook Miles Islands that actually have a lot of different and unique features on them. Good examples of this are islands where you can only catch really big fish. This can also mean that you have a much higher chance of catching extremely rare fish. You can also run into islands that only let you fish up trash. There are also islands that are entirely covered in nothing but bamboo, and that is the only way you can access bamboo and bamboo-related items, so that you can then, well, the only easy way of doing so. There is technically another way, but we'll get into that a little bit later. There are also islands that can sometimes give you a different fruit on the trees, usually your sister fruit, whatever that might be. I do believe that is pears on this save file for me. And you can also even run into islands that have nothing but scorpions and tarantulas on them, and that is very dangerous, but at the same time, it is also very useful because you can... did I shake all these already? I think I did. because you can actually get a whole lot of bells for catching all of those guys, which is really nice as well. There's a lot of different benefits to Nook Miles Islands. Of course, the expensiveness is really the one thing that can be kind of a turnoff because it is 2,000 miles for every single time you travel to one of these. Now, of course, your Nook Miles Plus achievements are the best way of getting a lot more of these, and as you can see, we still have a few more: horse mackerel, selling fruit, getting fossils assessed, things of that nature, and I will be doing all of that in due time. But for now, and it looks like we also got ourselves another one here as well, so why don't we scroll down and take a look. Rough Hewn. Island development is Nook Incorporated's goal. We need a lot of materials to make that happen, so we're giving away Nook Miles based on how much wood you've chopped from trees. Well, I will definitely take a second bump. Still working on trying to get the better tools, so we still need a little under 1,000 Nook Miles to get that done, but I do believe that is everything that I wanted to cover here on the island. Obviously, you can also see that we do have a DIY thing if you ever want to create any more tools there without having to buy them from Wilbur outright. I could pick up different colored tulips if I wanted to, but I think I'm just going to save myself the pocket space for the time being and travel on back. There will be many more opportunities to get these tulips. I'll worry about gardening at a later time. Right now, it is not my major priority. Bell Bottom Mambo, this is Stovetop Pencil Case. Do you require assistance? Over. I am ready to go home. Ready to pump pontoons and fly soaring windflower here back to Moro, excuse me. You positive? Be very positive, because I wouldn't want you leaving anything behind. So again, you ready? I am. So back we go. Let's get out of here. All right, welcome home. Okay, so let's get the heck on out of here. That is our first Nook Miles experience. If I can ever run into more unique islands, I will be sure to show those off. But Nook Miles Islands are something we're going to be doing only occasionally here. We're not going to spend too much time dwelling on each of those. I'm going to shake these just to get myself a few oranges so I can go and sell these to Timmy inside Resident Services really quickly. And we're also going to be talking to him anyway because I need to... And also, let me check this really quickly. Because, yes, I absolutely need to get the shop going. We're also going to celebrate the museum opening here in this episode today. Still a fair bit to do, but we're coming to a close here. Not to mention the fact that I do also want to do a brief overview of the evening and what that's like. I'll still see if we can have time for that in this episode, but we have... I don't know. I don't know how much time we have left. We'll find out. Okay, so first things first, I want to sell... Let's do this really quickly. Let's get rid of our oranges as well as our paper kite butterfly and our wasp. There we go. All the fine things you brought me. And okay, 4,100 bells. Not bad. All right, now let's talk about your shop, Timmy. Right now we're asking for donations to get the materials we need for the shop. I'd like to donate. Make a donation. Thank you so much for helping us. Let's see, you brought in... Oh my, you brought in everything we need all at once. Are you really going to provide all 4 kinds of materials right now? These are for you. Because I certainly don't need them. Well, I do, but not right this second. Oh my goodness, this means we have everything we need to get started on our shop. As a thank you, please take a raincoat, a homework set, and a digital alarm clock. Oh, sure. I mean, thank you. That's really nice. One more thing, since we have all the materials we need and can start construction on the shop, we'd like you, a key figure in making this happen, to pick out the perfect location for the new shop. I can do that for you. Place that shop construction kit wherever you'd like, and we'll get started on construction. I'm so excited to see the location you pick for us. Yeah, I will get to that, Timmy, but before we do anything else, let's talk to Tom while we're still in here. Ah, Levi, hello. What would you like to talk to me about? I'm all ears. Let's hold a ceremony. Want to take part in the ceremony, Levi? Right now, we'd like to celebrate the grand opening of our museum. Interested? I sure am. Splendid. Let's get started. All right, here we go. Oh, I love the overhead because we're too close to Resident Services. It's not usually supposed to be like this. That's kind of funny. Ugh, a little cramped here, but welcome to our dedication ceremony honoring Moreau's brand new museum. Oh, that's funny. I really did not know that this was going to happen. I've never actually seen it this way before. Thank you. Moreau truly started out as a desert island, but there simply wasn't much here. But now it's slowly beginning to develop thanks to the tireless efforts of, well, everyone really. Now I think we need to hear a few words from Blathers, who'll be running our new museum. Blathers, the floor is yours. Residents of Moreau, once again, I am Blathers, your humble museum curator. I am overwhelmed, indeed overjoyed by the marvelous establishment we are opening here today. This could not be done without you and your considerable cooperation. I only hope this island's rich ecosystem and treasure trove of species continues to inspire us all. It has surely strengthened my own resolve to build a museum brimming with wonder. I do hope you will continue your support of the museum's efforts going forward. Yay, I'm so happy for you, Blathers. Thank you for that rousing speech, Blathers. Now, let's have a few words from someone whose contributions made this museum possible. That's right, it's Moreau's own Levi. Anything to add? We're amazing. Yes, yes, indeed. Thank you for your heartfelt and encouraging sentiments there, Levi. Everyone, please get ready to join me in bringing this ceremony to a close. Also, those wishing to take a commemorative photo should get ready to press the button. I am not, because this angle is absolutely terrible. Although I do like that we're all looking to the sky. Yes, well then, with hope for our continued growth and to celebrate Moreau's beautiful museum, hooray. Why not? We'll get one quick picture in there. Perfect. Poor Agnes off to the side. Thank you all. This concludes our ceremony. Please do take care on your way home. And yes, you're going to get an opportunity to do one of those ceremonies pretty much every single time you build a structure. So after we get this shop place, we should be able to do the same thing soon after. So we didn't really have a whole lot of room for the museum after the fact. But how about the shop here? Let's see. Reserve this space for the shop. Ooh, it is going to take out that stone, but I think we're okay. Let's just do it. This is the spot. And indeed, it got rid of the stone as well as a couple of trees, but I am actually okay with that because the stone is going to reappear in a different spot on the island a little bit later, so it's not a super big deal. The tree's gone, but we'll be able to get over that. All right, so shop is placed right next to resident services once again. We have a little bit more space this time, although I would like to get this tree out of the way. I can very much do that with an orange, but for now, let's focus on, okay, I need to get a whole lot of things donated. So first things first, let me free up my pocket space quite a bit. All right, now that that is taken care of, the last thing I want to do really quickly is find a spot for my simple DIY workbench, which I've been neglecting to place for quite some time. I usually like to just kind of position this thing at the bottom of resident services, which is exactly what I'm going to do. So let's just put that there. Now we have a place to make DIY recipes while we're out and about doing various things. Okay, one more thing to take care of. I get my shovel going, and we are going to actually plant some coconut trees. We might as well get these going before we do anything else. And once we get all of these to start sprouting, we will be able to then go and start donating a bunch of things. I just want to be able to pick up absolutely everything that I have sitting over there by the museum. So you want to kind of find a sweet spot here. At least give a space between your coconut tree and the shore, as well as a space between it and the little edge here at the end of the grass. It's not necessarily like required. I do believe that these coconut trees can pretty much grow anywhere you put them, in the sand, of course. But I just feel like it's better just for the sake of convenience and whatnot, so it is worth doing. And the reason I want to get on this so immediately and why this is so important is because of the time of year that we are currently playing in. So you may have heard in Animal Crossing, or you may know in Animal Crossing, that catching bugs and fish and whatnot are one of the best ways to get yourself a whole lot of money. It's kind of been a staple of the games for a very, very long time, and that is true. However, what you're going to be finding obviously varies from season to season, but in the summer in particular, there is one time and one type of bug, or I guess a set of several bugs, excuse me, that can only be gotten under very specific circumstances, and that is with coconut trees at night in the summer. These are some of the most valuable bugs that you can possibly catch. They are extremely rare, but if you can get your hands on them, they sell for anywhere from 5,000 to 10,000 bells a piece. And this is a really good way of making money if you're willing to dedicate the time to do so. It's not the most time-effective way, but it is extremely time-effective nonetheless, and absolutely worth spending time on and making sure that you get done at this time of year, especially because there are a lot of those sorts of bugs that can be gotten in the summer. So let's see, how are we on space here? I think we should be able to hold everything. It's going to cut it really close. What do I got? Yeah, I'm actually going to have exactly enough space. So let's grab all these fossils now, and then we can head on in and talk to Blathers. Let's see what he has to say about the situation. We got a lot of stuff to give him and a lot of donations to make. But we can also do a little bit of a walk around the museum as well and see what it's like. After we donate all these things, of course. Oh yeah, should also mention, Blathers is an owl. Therefore, he is generally sleeping if you ever catch him in the middle of the day. So here we go. I beg your pardon. I'm a bit of a night owl, don't you know, drowsy in the daytime. But more importantly, if it isn't Levi, at long last the Moreau Museum has opened, this very day no less. An impressive feat of engineering, craftsmanship, and good old island ingenuity, is it not? Of course, it was your very own donations that made it possible, so to you I say, thank you. Now, allow me to give you a quick overview of our fine institution's floor plan. You'll find there are entrances to the left, to the right, and into the basement. Each one leads to exhibit rooms wherein the donations collected thus far have been put on display. In addition, the far room at the top of the stairs is a gallery to display display magnificent works of art. Although as of now, it is still entirely empty, but by my beak it shall one day soon swell with wonderful works. As such, we are still waiting for our donations, and so I humbly request your assistance. Oh yes, that's right. To streamline the donation process, we will begin accepting multiple donations at once. So if you wish to know about any fossils, fish, sea creatures, or bugs, I suppose, just call out, tell me about this, and I will happily do so. Anywho, by all means, do please take a gander at our collection. It is truly a thing of wonder. Okay, well, I am going to do a couple of things here in order. So let's start by assessing fossils. We're going to get all 5 of these cleared up at the same time, and he's just going to take care of all of them. Or when I see, let's see, I found something. Okay, so this right here, if he says that he has found something that is not yet part of our collection, but he does not say that they are all new, that means something that he has assessed is already in our museum. Now, that's actually a good thing for me, because fossils are another really good way of getting yourself bells if you ever have any that haven't already been donated. So let's make a donation, and we can see right there it is, the one I couldn't pronounce earlier, the USEP. I don't freaking know. That thing is already something that we've donated to the museum, so we really can't hand it off to him. What we can do is select everything else, including the seaweed. So I wasn't sure if we could donate that, but yes, indeed we can. And just give them all to him at once. Several things I see. Aha! Splendid. We will gladly take these off your hands. No need to pull them out. I'll handle the rest from here. And I think that is everything that I needed, Blathers. So if you don't mind, I'm going to take a look around your museum and see what we've got here. So let's start with the insect exhibit. Now, I have to say, one of my favorite things about the museum in this game is just how all out they went with the exhibit spaces. I mean, and they had some quirks and some nice things in previous games, but they really, tried their best with the exhibits in this game in particular. They're just so nice to walk through and take a look around. Now, like we said, there's not a whole lot of insects donated at the moment. Maybe probably only 2 that I've spotted thus far. But over time, we are going to fill this thing up to a brim, and it's just going to be teeming with life in due time. Now, there are multiple sections to go through. You can see here, this is where we got some underground bugs. There's our paper kite butterfly sitting over there. And they do actually put multiple bugs in multiple places, so that's also another thing. I believe that was the long locust that we caught earlier. You can just see all over the place there's going to be various things. What is in that one, I believe? I think that's our centipede right there. So now we can head down this way. There is also a butterfly room, where there's going to be multiple butterflies floating around. And not just the one. As you can see, we got multiple blue bottles here, multiple commons, multiple tigers, multiple yellows. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of butterflies that'll fill this place up once we have donated every single possible butterfly in the game. But obviously, we only have access to a select few at the moment. Now, something to keep in mind. Butterflies are generally attracted to flowers, so plant a lot of flowers if you want to see a whole lot more butterflies. There are also some that only come out at night, and I do want to show this at some point, but obviously I am limited because I haven't really been able to get around to that. We also got tiger butterflies out here. They do like to plop them all over the place, which I do like because in previous Animal Crossing games, they would really only find a spot for each insect one time, and I feel like it's just a bit more realistic that there's a whole lot of them moving around and there isn't just one of each species, which, yeah, I think it's a good design decision. So that is the insect exhibit. 3 different rooms to partake in as we go through there. The fish room is not too dissimilar in size, so let's head on over to that one next and we can take a look around. I have donated considerably less fish thus far, but it is still probably, there's still a fair few. And I obviously have a lot of fishing left to do. There we can see our tilapias over there. Got a few down here. These are the ponds. Mostly the river and the pond fish are in this first room. Not really any big ocean fish will be found in this area. You'll find them in the next room much more so. I think there are still other river and pond fish in here as well. But you can see as we make our way through here, here's some of the deep sea stuff. So we got a horse mackerel over there. If I make my way down this way, and yes, deep sea creatures also share the same exhibit. Doesn't look like there's anything in here just yet, but in due time there will be. Let's see if we can't track these guys down. It's just the horse mackerels in here. That can't be the only thing in here, though, right? I don't think it is. Okay, well, we have another top room here, so let's go over this way. Maybe this is where they put the deep-sea creatures at? But they kind of all retroactively added these because the deep-sea creatures were added. Okay, there's our whelk up there. So, yeah, they definitely have them in here. A lot more ocean representation. I believe yep, there is that's a ribbon eel, actually. I was thinking that was the sea slug for a second, but it's a little bit too big to be that. You can see down here we got our red snapper and our sea bass. There's the octopus hanging out down there. We got multiple red snappers as well as our sea pineapple. You got your sea star over there, all sorts of critters just kind of plopped in different areas. And what looks like a very cohesive environment. There's our acorn barnacles and seahorse as well, just kind of hiding out over there. It's kind of fun to just I spy and see what you can find, especially as you grow out your exhibits and make them a whole lot bulkier. And again, just teeming with life, which is really awesome. All right, so last exhibit we're going to show off is the fossil exhibit. We'll worry about the art one later, obviously, because we don't have any art pieces in there just yet, and there's not really a reason to walk through there. Then the art museum, or the art exhibit, is just one room, so it's also probably the least impressive when there's nothing in it. So any of the singular things you find, like this guy that I still can't pronounce the name of, you'll find them in here. Now, there's a pedestal for each and every single one. The fossils are going to usually be in the next room, and I believe there are, again, 3 rooms in the fossil area. So this first room here is usually where a lot of the big standing fossils are at. So like we got our mammoth torso right there. I think, is this one? What is this one exactly? This is part of the Brachiosaurus. Okay, so there's a lot of parts to each of these that we're going to be getting. You can see there we only got we got a tail and the torso for the Ankylosaurus, but we're missing more to it, or at least part of the torso. Or maybe that's just the neck. I don't know. I honestly don't. The way they phrase them can sometimes be a little bit on the strange side, because like, that's technically the neck, but I would be like, no, it's more like the upper torso. There's also this thing here, which I'm going to be honest, for the longest time, I genuinely thought this was a Rafflesia. I don't know why. And then eventually when I zoomed in and looked at it, I was like, oh, that's a meteor impact diagram. That makes a whole lot more sense. It just confused me for so long, especially because Rafflesias were like a big part of previous Animal Crossing games, and they're just not in this one at all, which is, I don't know, it's bizarre. I believe they've been in the games as early as Wild World, so for some reason, they just decided not to include them this time. Now, probably one of the more interesting rooms. You got a few more things that we're going to get pieces for in here. A lot of the more contemporary, more modern fossils are in here, as opposed to the extremely prehistoric ones. But you also get to see a little diagram where you get to kind of compare yourself to the heights of each of the different villager types. Now, I don't think it accounts for absolutely every villager type here, but it is most of them. Like, I don't think the octopus is in here, for example. I think it's only the mammals that they show in this. So I don't think, are there oh, I guess they do have the eagles, though, which is a little bit strange. But yeah, you got the koalas, the kangaroos, the elephants, the anteaters, the cats, the dogs, the bears, the giraffes, or giraffes and horses, I think, get the same model. Rhinoceroses, pigs, hippos, cows, deer, I believe, bunnies, mice, and monkeys. So yeah, all mammals except for some reason we have birds. I don't know, that's a little bit inconsistent, but whatever. So we are still missing a few different types, but for the most part, yeah, that covers pretty much all of them. And I always like that little diagram. It's just nice to compare yourself to them and see how tall they are. There's only about 3 of them that are actually taller than the main villager. But that pretty much covers the museum as a whole. Like I said, there is still the art exhibit, which we are not going to be looking at just because there's not really anything to see at the moment. Art is, I think, by far the toughest exhibit to complete, and you will see why once we get around to actually collecting art. But it is going to take time before we get to that point. There are only a couple of guaranteed ways to do so, and this game actually makes it harder than previous games did, in my opinion, and it was already difficult in the previous games. So let's collect ourselves some more Nook Miles here really quickly. And I do believe we're actually done here for today. So really all that's left is to kind of show what things are like when nighttime rolls around. Oh, and I apparently have another one here. So this actually, is this going to be enough? I think it was 3,000 that I needed, right, to get myself the next DIY set. I want to say so. And yes, I know there's more to grab. Hold on a second. Let me take a look at the ABD really quickly, because it would be awesome to get those DIY recipes right off the bat, because I definitely want better tools. All right, let's see. So we're going to redeem our Nook Miles. We've got yeah, it is 3,000. Okay, let's do that right away, because this is going to come in huge handy. Order has been processed. Please place your Nook phone near the terminal to receive the app data. Absolutely worth it. Recipe data is now stored in your app. Thanks for using the Nook Stop. Okay, let's take a look at this thing. I can make stronger tools that won't break so easily now. This is going to be a material gathering game changer. Indeed, it is. All right, this is going to make a huge difference. So now we can make the standard watering can, an actual axe, a stone axe, shovel, fishing rod, and net. every single one of these things is going to last a lot longer than all of the flimsy stuff we've been using. And the nice thing is that once we convert all of our flimsy materials into the main ones, they are going to instantly become a lot sturdier. So that's something to keep in mind. Now, the only thing worth talking about is the axe and the stone axe. The stone axe is the same thing as the flimsy axe. You will use it to chop wood. That's it. The irregular axe, however, the iron axe, this is actually necessary for chopping trees down. Now, you will still get wood out of trees that you chop down with each hit, but on the third hit, that's when the tree will actually fall over. Then you use a shovel to dig out the stump. That is only used in, I think, very dire situations because you have the freedom to move trees around at your own discretion by eating fruit and whatnot. It's not really necessary to do, but in extreme situations, if you have a tree that you're just absolutely not going to relocate anywhere else, that is where that axe is going to come in handy. All right, so again, I wanted to show what it's going to be like at nighttime, but unfortunately, we just do not have the time today to do so. So we're probably going to have to save that for the next episode. Again, fingers crossed. We do have a shop opening tomorrow, but as far as everything else is concerned, I don't think we have too much. So here's what I'm going to do. And also, I do want to catch that, actually. That bug right there. Can I get you, butterfly? Oh, you're going all the way up there. Gosh, dang it. I really need... hopefully that thing will eventually fly down here. That is an igreous butterfly, and they go really, really fast, but they are also a lot rarer than the ones we've found thus far. But my plan between episodes is to get to working on a couple of things. I want to collect myself some more wood. I would like to get all of my tools upgraded, but I also want to get... well, like I said, there's a lot I need to do. It's not just gathering tools, but rather gathering materials, which means that I'm going to need to also upgrade more tools. And this is obviously going to mean that I break some tools. So I'm going to have to just get a whole bunch of those things. And I'm just going to try to fill up my storage with all sorts of mainly wood, but also tree branches and various different items that we can use for DIY crafting. And then we can really, really get to work. But of course, we still have various things to do with Tom Nook, and we have other projects that he's going to ask of us. So we are going to just kind of get ready. I'm just going to kind of get ready, have a bunch of stuff on hand for the next few episodes, and hopefully I can even clean up as well and gather a bunch of weeds. But I think I'm mostly going to wait on that until I get my hands on a ladder finally, and so I can actually make my way deeper onto the island. So with all that said, guys, thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed this episode very, very much, and I will see you all in the next one.